Good evening, my name is Melanie Liriano and today I'm going to present a book which is The Good Earth, written by Pearl S. Book. So to start with this resume of this book, I'm going to do a little introduction of it so you can know a little more about this. So Pearl S. Book's best-selling novel has a pretty simple story. One Long is a farmer who's tried hard even through bad times and eventually makes it rich. He's tempted over and over again by the vices of wealth, but he always comes back to his root and to the land. This book became an instant hit. It was the best-selling novel in 1931 and 1932. It was translated in more than 30 languages and also won the Pulitzer Prize and nearly every other prize that it could win. And it helped Book become the first woman to receive the Nobel Prize. Plus, it was made into 2.8 million movie, which was a huge deal at the time. Not bad for your second try novel. For her second try on a novel. So the main characters of this book are Wan Long, Olan, Lutus, Suko, Shin, Pearl Blossom, Liu, All Mysterious, Hong. So let's start talking about a little bit of the argument of this book so you can know a little bit more about it. So The Good Earth is a family saga centered on the figure of Wan Long, which is the main character that I mentioned, a simple farmer in the village on Anhui. So this novel opens at Wan Long's wedding day when Wan Long arrives at the great house of Han to claim his bride. He's a poor man who has come to marry a slave, the only wife he can afford. And for this reason, he's very aware of his inferior status. The old mistress asks that they bring their firstborn for her to see. Wan Long agrees and departs with Olan, now by the time was his wife. Olan is plain and simple. Through a hard worker, she plans the wedding feast, and Wan Long and his father are pleasantly surprised by the delicacy of her food. Also, that night they consummate the marriage. So Wan Long is happy in his life with Olan. She's quiet, but diligent and respectful. Also, he finds comfort in her and seems overjoyed to learn that she's pregnant. Olan also takes upon herself to go into the field and work with Wan Long, which was her husband. Wan Long also thoughts bringing in a better harvest year. Wan Long and Olan continue saving silver and having children, and they hide the money in an earthen wall until Wan Long decides to buy some land from the house of Han, which was their city. Eventually, the family migrates to the south in search of food, and they settle in this foreign city and do as best as they can. The village is desolated when the family returns. Also, Shin, Wan Long's neighbor, is still alive, but barely so. So Wan Long tells Shin he will help them to plan their food again, and soon they become close friends. So Shin later works for Wan Long as his foreman. So one night, Wan Long finds out that during the night of chaos in the south, Olan found a collection of jewels. Olan also asks to keep 2 pearls, something to which Wan Long obligates. And the next day, he does out to buy more land from the house of Wan. Also, Wan Long thoughts become a rich man and begins to delve in the pleasures of life. And he seeks out to concubine Lotus, sends his sons to school, and becomes widely respected. He also realized that as much as he owns to Olan, which was his wife, he does not love or desire her. So she's simply the mother of his children, and he remains bound to sustain his uncle, aunt, and nephew. So to conclude with this amazing book, I want to share something very interesting. So to finalize this, he also realized that as much as he owns Olan, which was his wife, he does not love or desire her, that she's simply a mother of his children, as I mentioned, and they just separated. So by the end of the novel, the family has changed drastically. So the sons have been raised without knowing the value of the land. All they know are monetary riches, and they convince Wanlong to rent the great house in the city rather than remain in the country. So Wanlong thought occasionally enjoying the pleasures of a rich man, for example, fine food and clothes and another concubine things. Never will he sheets his identity as a farmer. However, his sons, who are eager to sell the land and make more money, represent the changes to come. So this was a simple beauty book, The Good Earth, and it's about all the glimpses into the life of Chinese peasants and the social changes that affect their traditions. I hope you really like this book, and thank you for your attention.